It was always my dream as a young age to come and study in your traditional European city that we Americans always think of. And I really think that Gdańsk is a really perfect example of that idea we Americans have of European cities. And so I mainly picked Gdańsk was because it's the top-ranked medical university here in Poland, and it's very strong in the background of research. So I live probably one of the greatest places to live in Gdańsk, which is an old town. I just love it there because if I ever need time to decompress, I can just walk around, get a coffee, go to a cafe, sit down, and just enjoy everything around me because it's such a beautiful city.
Our professional relationship started about 2 years ago. He came to our scientific circle, and he almost immediately started writing scientific papers successfully.
Dr. Shmuda is the one who supervises our circle. I went to him for my first research project, and he sat me down in his office and told me about everything. I was really intimidated because I had to use some complex statistical models, and he showed me everything. He gave me all the papers I should read, and of course I put in the work. I just came back from a spinal decompression surgery involving the lumbar spine. So the surgery was led by Dr. Shmuda. He's my #1 mentor since the past 2 years since I came here. So the patient had myelopathy, so the spinal canal was compressing the spinal cord, so the procedure was just to relieve the pressure. I started out last year just observing, and recently I got the opportunity to scrub in, which is pretty incredible, being a second-year medical student. But yeah, so I just do the basic procedures like suction and scrubbing in, and nothing too specific. It was super exciting. People don't think that if you're a second-year medical student, they don't think that you can do research, but that's not the case. There's always various study designs that you can do, even if you're not in your clinical years yet. Neurosurgery is the one and only specialty that I want to pursue, but I also love doing research in the field. I lead multiple projects, but the biggest one is a multicentre cohort study. And basically 5 hospitals are involved, and we're basically assessing the efficacy of utilizing one neurosurgical approach versus the other. It's specifically the televelar versus the transfermin, and these are 2 ways to get into the 4th ventricle, which is a cavity in the upper part of your medulla. And right now there's not a lot of information on if choosing one approach versus the other has greater risk with complications or greater efficacy. There's very little studies that have been published on this, and our goal is to go into this and provide new data. I hope that later on in the future I can move towards lab work, because I do think that's a very important skill to have when you're just getting involved with research. I think data analysis is very important, but also you need laboratory experience. I would absolutely recommend this university to people who are very driven and hardworking, because there are the resources to help you do the studies you want to do, and you also have the mentors there to support you the whole way. Yeah, it's definitely for the person who wants to become the best scientist and the best doctor they can be.
In my private opinion, to be honest, Samuel Pettersson is one of the most successful and talented students in our university.